I'm joined by patients' rights advocate Paul Brunet to talk about the Quebec coroner's report into the long-term care deaths of seniors during the first wave of the pandemic. Thank you so much for joining us, Paul.
Pleasure.
Coroner Jeanne Camel's report sheds light on the lack of care many seniors received in the spring of 2020. She made 23 recommendations for the province, the health ministry, and others. Do you think these recommendations go far enough?
To a certain extent, yes. They're not necessarily new, but again, like I've been pleading for the past couple of years, some people did not do their job. So I don't think we need a public inquiry in trying to find what happened. If you put in different pieces what went on or what didn't go on, you are realizing that it's just a matter of people not having done their job, whereas they had the duty and the power to do it. And we need sanctions more than a public inquiry.
The government, they said that they've already implemented some of the recommendations and they will put more in place. Are you satisfied with that response? And will that help repair the system?
You have a director of public health more independent, but not trying and going on with a monitoring of what is going on around the world before 2 or 3 months after the fact, independent or not, are you going to be knowledgeable enough to know and to recommend some action? I mean, the question is simple. Why were elders so affected by the crisis? Because we didn't know that they were that focused by the virus. Why didn't we know that? Because there were no monitoring since January 2020. How many people died because of that? Thousands of people. That's the kind of fact we should have had in the report, and I haven't seen. I've seen some, allusion about some elements that were, but you have their testimony, non-contradicted, of what went on and answers to those questions. And I would have wanted a little more direct affirmation on the part of the coroner.
Coroner Camel wrote that what happened is an indication of years of failed public policies. You're not calling for a public inquiry, so isn't the coroner. So the coroner says that she just wants people to never forget what happened. Yeah. How can that be possible, and how can we make sure this doesn't happen again?
I wanted the monument erected right in front of the National Assembly so that all politicians remember that we should not, forget what we have to do, which is be more prepared, have a vigil, a monitoring of what is going on around the world all the time, like it is prescribed by law already. We don't need new laws. We need people to do their job. We need, elders in this situation. Why were they tested only at the end? Whereas if we had known that they were the most at risk, we should and could have tested them in the very beginning of the crisis. That's not what we did. So all those things, with all due respect, are the result of lack of preparedness, lack of monitoring, lack of action on the part of the authorities. And that is sad. So we don't necessarily need a public inquiry. We need people to do their job. And that, to me, is very important. And the way to remember for the years to come is to erect a monument.
Thank you so much for joining us, Paul.
Pleasure.